color.
Get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Greetings, salutations, good morning, and welcome to TV8's Good Morning Vail for Monday, July 12th, 2021. A slight haze is in the air this morning over the Eagle County Regional Airport. I know you may be thinking, well, that's got to be from the Routt County fire. That's so close by to us, but all that haze is actually from the fires happening in Oregon and Canada and the Pacific Northwest. It's only about 1% smoke related to the current Routt County fire, and then the Sylvan Lake fire is essentially just smoldering and not actually smoking. It's just kind of eating all of the fuel that is in the fire zone, and this little one is snuck over into my seat. What? You're supposed to stay over there. We had this whole thing planned out, and here she is just wandering around. I am your host today, Eric Sundblad. My typical co-host, Maddie Evans, is on assignment today, and of course, you know, it wouldn't be a morning show without a pretty blonde, so I had to bring little Minnie here. Minnie, say hi to all your friends. Look it out that way. Look at her go. She's just loving being on TV. What a superstar. I guess it runs in the family. Minnie and I are just both hams for the camera, and we got a great show in store for you today on Good Morning Vail. We've got some fascinating guests that I cannot wait to get to. We've got Todd Reardon from Mein Haus and the Avon Recall Committee. We've also got Claire Noble from Vail Symposium, who's got a couple ambassadors in town this evening. It's actually their first in-person event since the coronavirus pandemic, so that's great news for Vail Symposium. We've also got Beaver Creek Resort Company and Bookworm of Edwards. We've got a completely full slate today, but I hope you all had a great weekend. I spent my Friday night paddleboarding around Lake Nottingham, and if we've got frequent viewers, you know I was pretty excited about the premiere of Black Widow in both theaters and on Disney+. Hope you guys made it out to the Capitol Theater in Eagle or the Riverwalk Theater in Edwards, and were able to enjoy the return of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Plenty of us did, as that movie grossed $215 million globally. Welcome back, Marvel. You're just kicking things off nicely back for the movie season, and 60 million of that was related to Disney+, which is great for people like me that maybe sometimes want to just hang out on the couch and watch a movie instead of headed to the theaters. If you're not comfortable with being in an enclosed space with a lot of people quite yet, that was a wonderful option, and maybe Disney will do that with Thor: Love and Thunder or The Eternals or Shang-Chi, or without Maddie here to rein me in, this is turning into Good Morning Movies with Mini Shred. Sorry about that, but I digress. It's going to be an awesome week here in the Valley. Of course, hot summer nights, free concert Tuesday nights in Vail. You've got Wednesday concerts in the park. We've got plenty of hikes. We got the scoreboard coming out tonight. Minnie and I hiked up the Lions Head Rock, Cougar Ridge Trail. So tune in tonight to watch the scoreboard and maybe get some inspiration for your next hike. And of course, the hype all week long is for the Xterra Beaver Creek Triathlon this Saturday, July 17th. Oh my gosh, we're going to be hyping that up, giving you guys previews of the courses all week long. How's my leg taste? Who's a good girl? What a great co-host she is. What a great co-host. Oh, hi, Minnie. As they say in acting classes, it's all about handing off the baton as you're kind of doing a monologue and a segment, and I think the licking was telling me to hand off the baton to a commercial break, Dad. I want to know what the weather's going to be. So we're going to take a quick break and then come back with a look at your local weather forecast.
I'm Clinton Griffiths, the host of Ag Day Television. Get the latest news about crops, livestock, rural living, and so much more from our award-winning team. Follow the food you eat from the field to the store to your table every day. Because what's happening on the farm matters to you and your family. Watch Ag Day, weekdays.
For fun and adventure, join me on Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big World. Find out where I'll be going next and which celebrities I'll be bringing along with me. I'll show you amazing destinations with lots to explore, and you'll get to know my celebrity guests the way they really are, up close and personal. We'll travel the world, experience new cultures, and together, try to make a difference. I'm Elizabeth Stanton, saying the world's a big place, and I'm going to show it to you.
Back. Xterra, the world's leading off-road triathlon, returns to Beaver Creek Saturday, July 17th. With sprint and full-distance races for individuals and relay teams. Sign up today at xterraplanet.com and enter TV8 at checkout for an extra 10% off. Live more.
Welcome to Street Magic. I'm Elizabeth Stanton with some of the most terrifying stunts, extraordinary extreme escapes, and the most amazing cutting-edge magicians you'll ever see in one show. Get ready to have your mind turned inside out. The hand is definitely quicker than the eye.
It's fake!
Good morning to you as well, Leadville. Oh, just like down here, fairly hazy up there, resulting from the Pacific Northwest fires. And expect that haze to persist for the next 2 to 3 days before a little bit of a storm cycle bringing afternoon showers starts rolling in. And we could potentially see that starting to happen today, but just a small % chance of getting those showers today. But hopefully that causes the haze to move out. It's just a couple more days of dealing with the haze. Starting off today around 59 degrees at the base of Vail, getting as warm as 83, so right along in our normal range there, which is great news. It was getting a little bit too hot this weekend, so it's going to be good to see some moisture roll in and temperatures slowly start to decrease for at least a portion of this week. And this evening, expect lows to get to around 48 degrees, and then that percentage chance of showers bumps up just a little bit, around 15%. There is some argument in the weather community as to when and how much the potential chance of showers is going to be. I saw as high as a 30% chance this evening, but potentially as low as 15. So it's all because the unknown nature of this high and low pressure system that's kind of skirting along Nevada and Utah right now. As we pan our view out and take a look at the national map, there is that high low pressure mix, and it kind of has a clockwise flow to it. So depending on how clockwise the flow is versus how much it expands over to the Great Plains and maybe south to Texas, that's really what's determining this potential for precipitation. So if that high-low pressure system stays tight and just does a quick flip 180, that's when we will see the highest percentage of rain right now. But it's not 100% quite yet. As we see in the jet stream there, you see that clockwise flow starting to occur and just drop things down into Colorado and then pick itself up back in the Gulf and just circle around. So we don't want that high pressure system to float just right over us. That's going to completely decrease any chance of precipitation. We need that low pressure system to come and say hi. So right now we're looking at a 30 to 40% chance of afternoon showers starting Tuesday and Wednesday, 20 to 20% chance throughout the rest of the week. But essentially what we're going to see is the smoke start to roll out and rain start to roll in as we proceed into Thursday. So keep those fingers crossed for some good rain. But the good news is temperatures will drop one way or the other. So looking at a great forecast for the rest of the week. Now we're going to take a short break and be joined by Todd Reardon from Mein Haus.
It's the fastest half hour in television. Toyota's Race Week takes you inside the high-speed world of NASCAR. Go behind the scenes for a look into the high adrenaline world of motorsports and hear from your favorite drivers as they discuss the drive to a championship. If you love NASCAR, you won't want to miss Toyota's Race Week.
Each week on the Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts, and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss the Tech Show. Tech your local listings.
All aboard!
Step on, take a look around, and take a listen. Relax to the rhythm of the train on the tracks. For the kids, and the kid in all of us, the Leadville, Colorado and Southern Railroad.
We are back. Xterra Trail Runs return to Beaver Creek Sunday, July 18th. With 5K, 9K, 18K, and 5x5K relay team races for runners of all ages and skill levels. Even free fun run races for the kids. Sign up today at xterraplanet.com and enter TV8 at checkout for an extra 10% off. Live more.
Welcome aboard. Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
Well, I'm happy to bring on a guest that's going to delve into some issues that are pertinent to our local Eagle County constituents, and specifically focusing on Avon residents. So I've got Todd Rohr here from Mein Haus, but also the Avon Recall Committee. So let's start with a little bit of background, because I myself was slightly ignorant to what was going on with this. So I would see articles in the paper about this going on, but never really dove too much into it. So one, where does this recall committee stem from?
So in 1991, every state has basically a system of recalling the people that you voted for. In 1991, the recall election laws were changed, and the people that were really pushing that back in that days were actually from Steamboat Springs. So. And those were the legislators that kind of made the changes in the legislation. So the basic idea behind a recall election to begin with is that everybody should have a voice. So it's not just, as you were asking me a little bit earlier off camera here, it's not just if you're the majority, you can squelch everybody else's voice and everybody else's opinions. And the recall system is basically a way for minority views and minority individuals to have a voice, so that the people that we have elected listen to not just the majority of people, but listen to everybody, that everybody gets a voice in government, and that we don't make laws and we don't make rules that don't consider everybody more or less equally. So for instance, back in when we were making the Constitution, Benjamin Franklin, they were making fun of democracy. Benjamin Franklin made the statement that democracy is two wolves and a sheep voting on what they're going to have for lunch. Okay, so we don't have an old-fashioned democracy that was in place in Athens, for instance, in ancient Athens and ancient Greece. We have a representative government that's supposed to listen to everybody, and everybody's supposed to have some kind of voice in government. And the recall laws are basically designed so that people that have been squelched or have not had their voices listened to get a chance to actually speak, and then we don't end up, and the end process ends up becoming that the people that are voted in don't pay attention to just the majority of people.
So she was the mayor of Avon, was elected in 2017. What actions spurred the recall committee to desire a recall?
So there were several things going on at that time. There was a big discussion about whether the town of Avon should move an old barn that was on the land for where we're putting our wastewater treatment plant. And there was a discussion about that over several town council meetings. And during those discussions, a couple of the counselors even said, you know, I don't think we should fund this because the majority of people won't want to have this happen. And then they went off and had some meeting someplace, and then came in and voted to have this thing moved at the cost of $7 million. That triggered a lot of people to all of a sudden come in and to the next town council meeting and say, that's a waste of money. So that was one of the several impetuses of not listening to people that initiated people to start signing these petitions.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but was that not overturned? Did that barn actually get demolished and not moved?
So what happened then was that an actual election was triggered over that, and 90% of people came in and said, no, we don't want to spend $7 million.
Yeah.
And so then the following meeting, without much fanfare, the people who had voted to spend $7 million on this, moving this barn, came back and said, well, we're not going to spend this money after all. And then as happenstance went forward with history, what is now history, the barn was actually torn down, and the only real remnant that the town of Avon has of that is a board that they have in front of an actual bar where we're serving beverages during some of our outdoor events here in our lovely park.
So the recall is more due to a lack of trust as a result of the behind closed door meetings, even though ultimately the right thing, if you were, was done and the money was not spent and the barn was demolished.
So, right. So in the process of going down the election process and whether they should have a recall election or not, in my view, would have been a best thing to have happened would have been just to discuss that in a town meeting about whether you should have the election, whether and what the actual law had to say.
Yeah.
And that would have been an open discussion, you know, with everybody could weigh in, and we could have a process that went forward in an efficient fashion. What happened instead was the people who were on this committee got blindsided, and a lawsuit was brought against them individually. As P.J. Jenick, one of the recall committee members, continues to note, he says, I got this knock on the door and handed this paper that said, I'm going to have to pay $100,000 in legal fees to just be able to have a voice. Well, what I've come here to talk about in the past has been, you know, catecholamines in the brain.
Yeah.
So when you get something that's unusual in a stimulus like that, your brain floods with catecholamines, and you are able to make that memory pretty clearly, and it's a very emotional event as well. So he remembers that very well. So it should have been just something, in my view, something we just openly talked about. Instead, it's been these closed-door sessions where people that have the public purse have been attacking people, the committee and the people that have signed these petitions, and trying to squelch their ability to have a voice and basically get the thing over with. So they've drug it out and drug it out. There's been a discussion in the papers about what it costs to have a recall election. The town has actually used my attorneys that at Garfield and Heck that I've had as attorneys ever since I started opening a business here in town, and I've not been able to use my usual attorneys because the town has taken them away from me, and we had to hire a different attorney from Denver to come up, and rather than just have a quick, easy discussion, get the election over and done with, the recall committee has legal fees currently of $64,000, and they're continuing to go on because the town and the attorneys that the town is paying are dragging this thing out and going off in directions that really doesn't belong to be going in. And so I've even gone so far as to actually put another page on our website to allow people to donate to our cause, because what is actually happening is that the people that are sitting on town council and have the public purse are are exacting payment and pain from the people who just want to have an open discussion and allow people to actually go forward and have a vote. And
So it's all about just providing more voice to the people.
yeah, I think that's what the law is originated to do, it's if you listen to the voice of the people, it's actually a fairly quick and easy process. What's happening instead is in the town of Avon is they're using a legal process to drag the discussion out and to exact pain against the people who just want to have a quick and easy election. I've even had text messages and phone calls from Chico Thune, who we lobbied to actually try to have the discussion openly in town council. His message back to us was Paul Weiser, the town attorney, told Chico to pass along the message to us and say, well, if Todd just quits, the pain will go away. That's really a gross abuse of a legal process and a gross abuse of the power of an elected body.
Yeah. Well, it's
Go ahead.
sorry to cut you off, but we are
we gotta
keep moving. But it is fascinating local governments. If you want to find out more about what's going on with the Avon Recall Committee, is there a website people can go to?
So yeah, we've set up so it's meinhaususa.com/Avon Recall.
Okay.
And there's a button on there that says donate, and you can help us parlay some of the expenses, but you can also you can give us a call, or you can come by and we'll talk to you anytime.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Todd.
Thanks,
Best
Eric.
of luck going forward.
Thanks.
And get involved with your local governments. Attend the town council. Have your voice heard, and find out more about the Avon Recall Committee as going forward. And I believe there are elections this year in Avon. So if you want to get your voice heard, make sure to always vote, ladies and gentlemen. We got more Good Morning Vail coming up next.
I'm Clinton Griffiths, the host of Ag Day Television. Get the latest news about crops, livestock, rural living, and so much more from our award-winning team. Follow the food you eat from the field to the store to your table every day, because what's happening on the farm matters to you and your family. Watch Ag Day weekdays.
For fun and adventure, join me on Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big World. Find out where I'll be going next and which celebrities I'll be bringing along with me. I'll show you amazing destinations with lots to explore, and you'll get to know my celebrity guests the way they really are, up close and personal. We'll travel the world, experience new cultures, and together, try to make a difference. I'm Elizabeth Stanton, saying the world's a big place, and I'm going to show it to you.
Follow your favorite extreme sports athletes with the Telly Award-winning show, The Line. If you're an adrenaline junkie and need a daily dose of base jumping, skydiving, highlining, biking, kayaking, and more, then look no further. We've got you covered. Catch JT Holmes, Andy Lewis, Cam Zink, and many more extreme sport athletes here on The Line. Check your local listings for more information.
Welcome to Street Magic. I'm Elizabeth Stanton with some of the most terrifying stunts, extraordinary extreme escapes, and the most amazing cutting-edge magicians you'll ever see in one show. Get ready to have your mind turned inside out. The hand is definitely quicker than the eye.
It's fake!
Well, Beaver Creek is an amazing winter destination, but a bit of a hidden gem in the summer. If you didn't realize, they have incredible events that happen all summer long at the base of Beaver Creek. They're family friendly, they're energetic, and there's always delicious food involved with it. And I'm happy to be joined by Sarah Inararity from Beaver Creek Resort Company. Sarah, good morning to you. What's
good to see you. How are you?
Oh, doing fabulous. Just enjoying the nice sunny weather and good hiking times. Beaver Creek Lake has been a great hike lately.
Definitely. It's been so pretty up there. We've loved welcoming guests back for the summer. And like you said, just getting outside and enjoying everything we have to offer.
Yeah, a heck of a disc golf course now.
It really is.
Yeah, I went up there with Steve from the Flying Eagle Disc Society and watched him build it. So
Nice.
It was super cool.
That's
So,
awesome.
There's something for everybody up at Beaver Creek.
It really is. We have our weekly programming, which continues through the end of August. So we've added some really fun components this summer. We have dinner and a movie every Monday and Wednesday. So these are going to be family-friendly films that run from 7 to 9. So this week we've got Moana, which is one of everyone's favorites.
Yeah.
And again, that's every Monday and Wednesday. And then we've added a lot more fitness classes. We realized people have really enjoyed the yoga classes we've offered. So we've got yoga 3 mornings a week. So that's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 o'clock, right on the rink. So great way to start your day outside, getting a little namaste in before your workday starts. And then we've added a dryland class. So this is every Tuesday from 9 to 10. I didn't really know about dryland. This is a way to stay in ski season shape all summer. So
It's like working with small boxes and a lot of jumping and core work,
exactly.
right?
So
Yeah.
really good mountain conditioning just to stay in good shape all summer.
Excellent. Man, so much going on.
So much going on.
Yeah, that's the athletic side of it. What about the hangout food side of it? I'd say if Maddie were here, she would go, this is my favorite. I love zoo salmon.
It is a lot of fun. So we started this about 3 summers ago, and it's just a great way to gather in the village. So we have some great drink specials, some really nice menu items from Beaver Creek restaurants. Everything's hosted again on the rink. So we've transformed the rink, if you haven't been up there, to basically the core of all of our summer events. And so we have turf down, we have really nice picnic tables, umbrellas, some bistro lighting. So all of our events and programming are hosted right there on the rink. So this Saturday from 4 to 7, we have Meadowlark, which is a really fun band from the Front Range. They'll be performing. And then we have, like I said, some great food and drink options from restaurants. And this year we've added a fun component of art classes. So Alpine Art Center will be there from 1 to 3 with classes. You don't need to pre-register, just walk up and enjoy some art.
That makes it so convenient.
It really
Just
does.
explore different talents and
Definitely
enjoy that live music and just get what do you think the art's going to be? You think it's going to be painting, sculpting?
I think it's painting, but they're going to switch it up each week. And
Okay.
so for people that are here for 2 or 3 weeks, or for locals that are coming up the hill, it'll be a different class each week. And it's just a nice way to, kind of fill the whole day. People might go hiking or fly fishing in the morning and then come by in the afternoon, do some art with the kids, enjoy some music, some great food. And then we have silent disco that we added on Saturdays. So this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
When you walk by, everyone has their headphones, everyone's listening to a different channel, and people are really enjoying that. So that's a fun one we've added for the summer as well.
It's always interesting to see if you can find somebody that's listening to your music.
Exactly.
Like pop around, like who's got their head bopping
dance
to
moves
mine?
like mine? Are we dancing to something different?
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Somebody's just break dancing down there.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Beaver Creek is really an all-day sort of event. You've got the morning yoga, you've got the morning cross training, you've got afternoon concerts, but then over the course of the day, you can take Jeep tours, you've got horseback riding, you've got the kids bungee trampoline.
Exactly. There's so much to do. We've got like you said, the Jeep tours are back this summer, and they're doing some wine and cheese outings, which are really nice in the afternoons. And then the Summer Adventure Center, every time I walk by, they are just packed.
Yeah,
They've got,
yeah.
like you said, the bungee trampolines, the putt-putt, gym panning. I mean, it's just such a fun way for the kids to run around after hiking, after jumping in the pool, and enjoy some fun activities.
Yeah, just nicely tucked away, kind of away from the hustle bustle of Avon and I-70. It's just such a great environment. Once you get up there, you just never really leave.
Not
There's no
really.
reason to.
I mean, there's a lot to do. And then this weekend we have Xterra, which is back. So this is really fun to host this. We've got Thursday, it kicks off with the mountain bike ride, and then obviously the triathlon, which is what they're known for, and some trail runs on just really the whole weekend. So again, we've got a nice blend of fitness, some great food and drink, and just fun activities for the whole family.
Where do you think the best place for watching Xterra is going to be? Like, can you hike up a little bit and
You can hike
find
up
one
a
of the
little
trails,
bit.
or is it best in the village?
I would say probably the base right around Chair 6 is going to be a good spot when they're coming through there. And then, depending on the trail runs, the mountain bikes, those are kind of scattered throughout the mountain. So it really just depends on which event, but everything's going to be centered right there at the base.
Okay.
Yeah.
And any sort of parking information as it pertains to Xterra, like in terms of planning things out?
Sure. I would say on the busier days, and this goes for our festival days too, as the free parking fills up in the village, use the lower lots, we'll have the shuttles running. But parking is free in the summer, which is great. So until those lots fill up, you can use those in the village. And then after that, the lower lots are available.
Okay. Excellent. Love it. Let's Okay, so we got activities going on, we got concerts, we got the movie thing. What are we missing here,
So
Sarah?
Thursday night, we've added something new because we didn't have enough going on, right?
Yeah.
So Thursday night, Move and Groove. This is a lot of fun. This is when we bring in a different genre of band each week. So we've had Rewind a couple weeks ago. These guys are great. They play 80s and 90s sort of throwback music. Sometimes we'll have more of a swing band or a big band. And we actually have dance lessons right there on the rink. So this is from 7 to 9 on Thursday. So you can come out, take a dance lesson, learn some new moves, and enjoy some great music right there at the rink.
Is it a different genre every week?
Exactly.
Okay,
So yeah,
okay.
sometimes we'll have country, sometimes we'll have more, sort of classic rock, but it's just a really fun way to, learn some new moves and hear some great music.
Yeah, I mean, swing and maybe some ska as well is kind of gone off the radio.
Right.
It's looking to be like reliving my childhood. up there.
Exactly. So that's been a lot of fun. We're just always listening to guests and trying to find out what people want. For this year was adding additional fitness classes. Those have been so popular. And then the music. Everyone loves hearing live music in the mountains. So we've got Wednesday and Friday live music. That's 4 to 6 each week. And again, we've mixed it up. We have so many different great bands. So for people that are maybe visiting for a couple weeks at a time, they're going to get to hear all different bands each day, or for locals that are coming up. So we really mixed up the music quite a bit this year to keep it fresh and keep it exciting.
You guys are always doing amazing things up there. Yeah, I don't know how you manage it all. So much planning goes involved.
It is, but it's so fun. After last year being a little bit of a, different type year with COVID, it's just so nice to be open, to have people return, whether it's locals we haven't seen in a while or guests that have come for 15, 20 years. I think that's one of my favorite things, is talking to people in the village, and it's 3 generations of a family, and they've been coming up here for sometimes, like I said, 15 or 20 years.
And it's
so
always different for every generation.
Exactly. So that's a lot of fun.
Awesome, Sarah. Well, looking forward to Zoo Salmon. Definitely looking forward to the different genres of music every week. That's right up my alley.
Absolutely.
If people want to see a kind of schedule online or just get more information, what's the best place for
Sure.
them?
So beavercreek.com/events. That's going to have our weekly programming as well as our special event calendar. And then for Xterra specifically, it's xterraplanet.com/beavercreek with registration info and the schedule for everything this weekend.
Excellent. And I believe you get 10% off on the Xterra if you use checkout code TV8. When you register, so keep that in mind too. I'm excited to be up there this Saturday. I'm definitely going to be covering everything for our sports show. So
Great.
Maybe we'll see you around, Sarah.
Sounds good.
Thanks as always for joining us.
Great to see you.
Great to see you. Remember, everything in Beaver Creek this year is happening in the courtyard where the ice rink typically is in the winter. So just stop by there anytime. You're going to run into some fun activities: yoga, CrossFit in the morning, dry land training, Zoo Salmon, concerts. Holy cow, they got it all. And we have it all for you here on Good Morning Vail, and we will be right back.
Each week on the Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts, and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss the Tech Show. Tech your local listings.
We are back. Xterra Trail Runs return to Beaver Creek Sunday, July 18th. With 5K, 9K, 18K, and 5x5K relay team races for runners of all ages and skill levels. Even free fun run races for the kids. Sign up today at xterraplanet.com and enter TV8 at checkout for an extra 10% off. Live more.
Welcome aboard. Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
Follow your favorite extreme sports athletes with the Telly Award-winning show, The Line. If you're an adrenaline junkie and need a daily dose of base jumping, skydiving, highlining, biking, kayaking, and more, then look no further. We've got you covered. Catch JT Holmes, Andy Lewis, Cam Zink, and many more extreme sport athletes here on The Line. Check your local listings for more information.
Vail Symposium is a constant source of global news and intriguing topics throughout the course of the year, and this week is a very special week inside of a very special month for Vail Symposium, and I'm happy to have Claire Noble from the Vail Symposium here. Claire, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Eric, it's great to see you this morning. It's a little bit of strange drive over because we've got a weird looking sky right now because of all that smoke.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's a beautiful morning. Colorado morning, you got the heater on in the car on your way over.
Right.
You're blasting the AC by lunchtime.
Yeah.
But yeah, so next week, Monday, July 12th, we have 2 ambassadors in conversation. And this is our first in-person program since March of last year.
Huge,
and
over a year.
to bring it around full circle, March 8th of last year, I'm eating breakfast at the Little Diner in Vail. It's packed. COVID is stalking us and we don't know it. And I'm having breakfast with Ambassador Hill and Chris Sable, who's our executive director, and Dale Mosier, our board chairman, talking about programs, geopolitical programs for the Vail Symposium. Here we are, 14, 15 months later, and our first in-person program is with Christopher Hill. And I have to say also, just on a personal note, the very first Vail Symposium program I went to was Christopher Hill's.
Oh, so he is a true favorite then.
He's a favorite, but he's also a really great friend of the Vail Symposium. He has supported us for a really long time. And he's amazing. He was the ambassador to 4 countries. He served under numerous presidents. He was a career diplomat, so he's not a big campaign donor that was given a country. He's a guy who really knows his stuff. He was the head of the U.S. delegation at the 6-party talks on the nuclear issue in North Korea. He was also at the Kosovo peace talks as well. And he was the dean of the Korbel School of International Studies at the University of Denver. Now he's at Columbia University's School of International Public Policy.
You become a career diplomat. That seems like it's like a great job. Traveling around, trying to bring people together.
He got his start in the Peace Corps.
Okay.
So this idea of, I guess, both foreign policy and diplomacy, but also helping people around the world, extending America's help around the world has been sort of part of his DNA.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah.
And so he's going to be getting into conversation, potentially debate with another ambassador, Gary Grappo, for this particular one, right?
Right. So we hosted Ambassador Hill a couple of years ago in conversation with another ambassador, and it was really popular. It's just amazing to see 2 people sit down and discuss foreign policy at such a high level.
It's like a view behind closed doors as to what actually
We're
happens.
like the collective flies on the wall.
Yeah.
And so I thought, there's got to be another ambassador kicking around the state. So I called my friends at the World Affairs Council in the Evergreen Golden area. I said, hey, do you guys know any other ambassadors? And they said, yeah, we've got Ambassador Gary Grappo. And so he's currently at the Korbel School of International Policy in the Middle Eastern Studies Department. He's a distinguished fellow there. But he was also a career diplomat. He's also been all over the world, senior positions in Baghdad, in Riyadh. He was our ambassador to Oman. So I mentioned him to Ambassador Hill and his wife Julie, and they're like, yeah, we know that guy. Turns out they've been good friends for years.
Okay,
I think their
good.
careers have crossed paths. I'm sure they're in agree on some things. They might disagree on some other things as well. Ambassador Grappo in particular has a lot of experience in the Middle East, and we've got a lot, as usual, going on in the Middle East. We have our impending withdrawal from Afghanistan going on. We also have new leadership in Israel. Naftali Bennett is their new prime minister. So there's a lot to talk about in that region.
Yeah, it's typically a powder keg down there, and I'd say even more so right now, just given those two topics that you mentioned, Afghanistan and a new prime minister.
Yeah, and it feels like a lot of unresolved business with Saudi Arabia as well. And there's a new prime minister also in Iran. And this is significant because it sort of signals perhaps a shift in their foreign policy. The speculation right now is that it's going to be a little bit more of a hardline policy because their new president is a hardliner. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, Raisi or Raimsi. But the thinking is that he might be the heir apparent for the new supreme leader because he's actually a cleric.
Okay, fascinating. I'm not extremely well versed on Iran. I just have a
Clearly, I'm
kind
not
of
either.
1,000-foot level view on that. Yeah.
But that's why we have these two experts, and this is the great thing about the Vail Symposium. You're going to get to hear from two experts who really do know what they're talking about, and you get a chance to ask them questions. Our in-person programs are 90 minutes, and about a third of that is reserved for audience questions. And our speakers are almost always blown away by the questions that our community asks them.
We got a lot of smart whippersnappers up here.
We sure do. You know? We sure do.
And it's a special year for Vail Symposium, given this is your 50th anniversary, I believe.
Absolutely. 1971, we got our start. And we got our start within the town of Vail. Terry Minger, the town manager at the time, came up with this idea of gathering together and kind of deciding what the future of Vail was going to be. And this is where the free in-town bus service came from. This is where the bike trail came from. This is where the Ford Amphitheater came from. And it was once a year. And then we ended up spinning off outside the Vail, out of the town of Vail. And we've sort of changed over the years, evolved. Our focus has been other things, and now we have a really diverse slate of programs that we offer. We offer almost one a week, so about 45 programs a year, and we think that's probably the right mix. Our audience seems to like to come once a week and hear something, whether it's geopolitical or hot topics or finance or sustainability, and it's been working for us really well. We've changed because of the pandemic, like a lot of organizations, and we think in the future we'll be offering about half of our programs in person and about the other half via webinar.
Well, just for convenience sake, I think that's a good transition, is to have that blended model of half virtual, half in person.
So what we found is that there were speakers who we wanted to invite here who would have loved to come here, but their schedule didn't allow it. And so now we can offer them an option. Would you rather do a webinar? It also helps us because a lot of our audience are second homeowners, so they're not here all the time. And we'll get constantly questions, are you filming tonight's program? So for instance, Monday night's program, it won't be live streamed, but it will be filmed. So it will be posted to our website a few days later.
Okay, and is that vailsymposium.org?
Yes, it is.
Perfect, and that's probably the best place to go to see upcoming guests coming on. Any preview event for like August, September, late July?
So glad you asked. On August 25th, we have just renowned, venerable journalist Judy Woodruff and her husband Al Hunt. Both of them have been journalists for 3 to 4 decades each, and I can't wait to hear how they discuss how much the media landscape has changed during the course of their careers. I mean, Al Hunt was at newspapers back in the mid-'60s, during the Mad Men days.
Yeah.
And then Judy Woodruff, she's covered every presidential campaign and convention since 1976.
What a wealth of knowledge.
She's been more in media, whereas Al Hunt has been both in print and media. So she's been with CNN, but also with PBS, and she's on PBS NewsHour now.
And that is probably the most trusted news source you could get, is independent, self-funded.
She just received a Peabody Award for journalistic integrity. And I will also just point out that this program, the advanced ticket sales have been really strong. So we're doing it at the Vail Interfaith Chapel. There's only so many seats. So if this is something that appeals to you, I would really suggest you get your tickets as soon as possible, because that's a program that's probably going to sell out.
All right, perfect. Judy Woodruff, August 25th.
Yep.
Get your tickets for that now at vailsymposium.org, or get tickets for Monday's show. Not sold out?
No, but it is also very strong sales.
Okay. So we've got Christopher Hill, Gary Grappo, this coming Monday, the first in-person event in over a year for Vail Symposium. Check them out, vailsymposium.org. Always bringing so much wealth and wealth of knowledge to our county. Happy to have them here. Thank you so much, Claire.
Thanks for having me.
And get that noodle worked out. Head on over to one of the Vail Symposium events. Check them out online, vailsymposium.org. We got a little bit more Good Morning Vail coming up next.
I'm Clinton Griffiths, the host of Ag Day Television. Get the latest news about crops, livestock, rural living, and so much more from our award-winning team. Follow the food you eat from the field to the store to your table every day, because what's happening on the farm matters to you and your family. Watch Ag Day weekdays.
For fun and adventure, join me on Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big World. Find out where I'll be going next and which celebrities I'll be bringing along with me. I'll show you amazing destinations with lots to explore, and you'll get to know my celebrity guests the way they really are, up close and personal. We'll travel the world, experience new cultures, and together, try to make a difference. I'm Elizabeth Stanton, saying the world's a big place, and I'm going to show it to you.
Follow your favorite extreme sports athletes with the Telly Award-winning show, The Line. If you're an adrenaline junkie and need a daily dose of base jumping, skydiving, highlining, biking, kayaking, and more, then look no further. We've got you covered. Catch JT Holmes, Andy Lewis, Cam Zink, and many more extreme sport athletes here on The Line. Check your local listings for more information.
All aboard!
Step on. Take a look around. And take a listen. Relax to the rhythm of the train on the tracks. For the kids, and the kid in all of us, the Leadville, Colorado and Southern Railroad.
Eric Sundblad from TV8 here, proud to debut a brand new show here on TV8 called The Scoreboard. This is a really exciting show for us because it's something that's never been done here in Eagle County. It's an entire show devoted just to your high school athletes and your high school sports. We are so happy to be back in the Eagle County community, and we want to take this opportunity to shine an even greater light on some of the incredible athletes we have here in Eagle County. So what does the scoreboard entail exactly? Well, I'm going to be going to almost every single high school sports game that I can possibly go to and getting some great live footage of the most exciting and dynamic plays in the game. And on the scoreboard, I'm going to be giving you in-depth analysis of those plays. We're going to be reviewing all the scores from around the valley and then getting exclusive behind-the-scenes interviews with athletes and coaches after the games, because who knows better what happened in the games than the players that were actually on the field. And this is the most exciting thing about the scoreboard for me, because it allows these athletes that you see from the stands just playing the game to actually bring a voice to them and allow them to tell the tale of the game from their perspective. It's such a special feeling to be interviewed as an athlete after a game and to be allowed to give your perspective and see that raw emotion from the viewer's perspective after an incredible win or a defeating loss, and see that emotion and that passion for the sport. And there's been nothing else like that done here for Eagle County, and the scoreboard is going to give that to you. Now, the scoreboard is going to be debuting very, very soon, and it's going to be premiering on Tuesdays and Fridays at both 6 p.m. and 11 a.m. So we're going to give you ample opportunities to catch up on the weekend high school sports games as well as the weeknight high school sports games. Because if you can't catch the score, you can always catch the scoreboard. But we're not just stopping at traditional high school sports. We're also going to be expanding to your ski racing and your snowboarding, and working closely with the trainers and the coaches at Vail Ski and Snowboard Academy to get their perspective on the various race courses. I know so many of us here are passionate winter sports athletes, and I want to allow them, the future Olympians, to tell us how they're feeling about the various race courses and what training regimens they're going through. We're also going to be including the Vail Yetis, your favorite professional amateur ice hockey team based out of Dobson Ice Arena in Vail. I cannot wait to start covering the Yetis. But there's more. We're also going to be covering your more non-traditional sports, your more action sports, things like whitewater kayaking, things like stand-up paddleboarding, like slacklining, like rock climbing, the GoPro mountain games, the Xterra Triathlon in Avon. If there is a sporting event here in Eagle County, you can be guaranteed that the scoreboard will be covering it. But since we're so happy to be a part of the community again, we want the community to drive the scoreboard. So if you have any feedback, if we're missing any games, if you want me to be at any game, if you want me to interview any particular local athlete, please don't hesitate to let us know. We want to be your show. The scoreboard is for Eagle County because Eagle County is for the scoreboard. Because if you can't catch the score, you can always watch the scoreboard, premiering very soon here on TV8, Tuesdays and Fridays at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Good morning to you, Glenwood Springs. Just as hazy west of us, maybe even a little more hazy as our technician and all-around expert here, Terry, that lives down near Glenwood Springs, said it was extremely smoky this morning to the point where he couldn't leave his windows open. So if you're down in Glenwood watching us, keep those windows closed until that smoke filters out. And we are expecting the next 2 days to be fairly smoky and hazy. And remember, these fires aren't necessarily, or the smoke isn't necessarily a result of fires here in Colorado. They're actually coming from the Pacific Northwest and Canada, where they just had that heat wave roll through and sparked up some fires. So over the course of the next 2 days, that smoke will filter out and some precipitation should be joining us. Now, the various precipitable models are kind of in argument right now as to what the exact percentage chance of precipitation is going to be, but that's just a result of not knowing where the jet stream is going to push these high and low pressure systems. For the day though, high of 83 degrees today, starting off around 59 degrees. 10% chance of rain throughout the course of the day. I've seen as high as 30% chance in some models, but the one thing that they all agree on is that it is purely an afternoon shower. So if we are going to get rain, expect that to occur between 1 and 5 p.m. And this evening, expect a low of 48 degrees and a 15% chance of precipitation. Now, I talked about the models not agreeing, and here's why as we pan our view out. It's all about this high pressure, low pressure mix, and there's a clockwise sort of flow to it right now. And if the clockwise flow expands, that means this low pressure system is going to hit the Great Plains and swing into Texas. But if it stays nice and compact, that should just flip a 180 and bring us some precipitation. Looking at the jet stream, there you go. You see a nice light, whoop, clockwise motion. So hopefully that stays nice and tight. We get a quick flip of high and low pressure, and some moisture can join us here in Colorado. And as we're looking ahead at the week, we've got 30-40% chance of precipitation. By the time we get to Thursday, all of the smoke should be cleared out as a result of these afternoon thunderstorms that will be occurring today and increasing into Tuesday and Wednesday. Temperatures should steadily decline throughout the course of the week until we get to the weekend when things brighten back up again. We've got just a bit more Good Morning Vail coming up right after this.
Welcome to Street Magic. I'm Elizabeth Stanton with some of the most terrifying stunts, extraordinary extreme escapes, and the most amazing cutting-edge magicians you'll ever see in one show. Get ready to have your mind turned inside out. The hand is definitely quicker than the eye.
It's fake!
For fun and adventure, join me on Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big World. Find out where I'll be going next and which celebrities I'll be bringing along with me. I'll show you amazing destinations with lots to explore, and you'll get to know my celebrity guests the way they really are, up close and personal. We'll travel the world, experience new cultures, and together, try to make a difference. I'm Elizabeth Stanton, saying the world's a big place, and I'm going to show it to you.
Follow your favorite extreme sports athletes with the Telly Award-winning show, The Line. If you're an adrenaline junkie and need a daily dose of base jumping, skydiving, highlining, biking, kayaking, and more, then look no further. We've got you covered. Catch JT Holmes, Andy Lewis, Cam Zink, and many more extreme sport athletes here on The Line. Check your local listings for more information.
It's the fastest half hour in television. Toyota's Race Week takes you inside the high-speed world of NASCAR. Go behind the scenes for a look into the high adrenaline world of motorsports and hear from your favorite drivers as they discuss the drive to a championship. If you love NASCAR, you won't want to miss Toyota's Race Week.
Well, thanks for joining us on Good Morning Vail for this amazing little Monday here in the Vail Valley. We've got plenty of events going on this week. We had Sarah Inararity from Beaver Creek Resort Company come by. Holy cow, you've got morning dryland training, you've got morning yoga, you've got the Zeus Salmon food and free art classes and concerts going on soon. They've got the different genres of music happening every Thursday night. So much going on. We had Claire Noble from the Vail Symposium. They are having their first in-person event, joined by two ambassadors, Christopher Hill and Gary Groppo, next Monday at the Vail Interfaith Chapel. Tickets still available for that. VailSymposium.org. And then they've got Judy Woodrow coming on August 24th. And look at this little guy. Minnie had a great time. Minnie, high five. Did you have a good time? She had a blast. Look at that pup. Tomorrow we are going to be joined by Vail Fly Fishing Outfitters, Vail Segway, and then Tamara from Mein Haus will be showing off one of the amazing breakfasts that they will cook to you at their bed and breakfast. And we also had Todd Rear here joining us on the couch, part of the Avon Recall Committee. Do your research on that. If you're an Avon resident, dig a little more into that. And there is an election later this year for the new mayor. So always keep yourself informed on local politics, local government, because that affects where you live. Everybody's into the global news thanks to Vail Symposium, but keep it local as well. Folks, if you're living here in Avon or Vail, join your town council meetings and keep yourself informed. To get out there today, maybe head on over to Lake Nottingham, get yourself a little paddleboard in. Stand-Up Paddle Colorado can offer you rentals there if you don't own one. Go for a little hike. Maybe hit up the Walking Mountain Science Center here in Avon. Maybe check out Booth's Falls in Vail. I got a little thing in my hand, so Minnie's freaking out right now. She doesn't just constantly bite and lick my hand. Hi. But you can't chew on it. You can't chew on it, little one. Minnie, say hi to the camera. All right. From Minnie and myself, Eric Stundblad, get out there and enjoy a fabulous day and join us tomorrow for more Good Morning Vail.
Each week on the Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss the Tech Show. Check your local listings.
I'm Tyne Morgan, host of US